when we're talking about real estate, it's not like it used to be before World War II, right? Sort of like after World War II happened, because before, for most of the immigrants that came to the United States, in order for them to buy a house, they had to put 50% down. And they had interest-only loans that averaged 5 to 6 years, right? Yeah. And then sort of post-World War II, when we had the Depression and things like that. And post-World War II, the FHA was created to sort of increase the amount of home ownership. But ever since that point of time, it's been about monthly payment.
Yep.
Not the price of the home.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is, as we learned from the crash of '08, is the price of the home really does matter, because we know in real estate, investing in real estate, you want to buy low, sell high, right? Well, when you're buying high, unless you're going to wait 10 more years, because they're just buying payment. And I think that's the riskiest thing right now. And so we decided we were just going to start educating people and kind of talking about, slow down. I'm not telling you don't buy a house. People are like, you're a crash bro, whatever. I'm not telling people not to buy. I'm not telling people not to buy houses. I'm just saying, man, if you don't have the money to buy a house, don't buy a house.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because we're seeing it. We're seeing firsthand as a real estate broker. I'm talking firsthand to people that wish they didn't buy.
Yep.
Just 2 years ago, just last year, I'm hearing about people wanting to walk away from their mortgage already. They've been in the house a year.
I watched that video yesterday on your channel. I'm like, I'm going to watch, catch up on Todd's last video. And you're talking about all these different scenarios in which people bought a house and they had to walk, or they're thinking about walking away.
Yeah, which we saw big time in '08 and '09 and 2010 and really until we really had a bloodbath, right? In the 2010, 2011, we watched a lot of people, millions of people lose their house to foreclosure, and some of them just walked away.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, people aren't going to walk away because they have a 2.5% or 3% mortgage. When people just go on Zillow and they're like, I bought this house for $500K and now it's worth $420, they're like, I'm negative $50K, I'm negative $60K. They're like, I lose nothing by walking away. And so people will be more incentivized to walk away if they don't have any reason to stay.
And think about this now. People are more in debt than they've ever been. You and I were just talking about that, right? $1 trillion in credit card debt. So if somebody owns a home and let's just say values do go down and this is another thing. I mean, through the years, values do go up and down in real estate, right? And it's clear to say we had a major real estate bubble, and I believe we're still in it.
Yeah.
Right? But because we're seeing certain markets.
Well, home prices are still super high, but mortgage rates went from 3% to, I went on Google yesterday and I typed in mortgage rates today, and I put in, it was actually, I think, my last video, and I put in average credit score 700 to 719, and it showed 8%. And then below, 680 to 699, or to 699, or 700, 8.23%. I'm like, how the hell can you afford that?
Hello, right?
At $500,000 purchase price, you're looking at like $4,000 a month. You have to make $12,000, $144,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like $12,000 a month.
And a lot of people are buying into this because they go, well, I can afford the payment.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I caution people, because guys, if you're listening to this, right, and you're thinking to yourself that your spending is going to stop when you buy a house, it's not.
It's only going to go up.
It's only going up, right? So a lot of buyers don't realize that now you're paying for a lawnmower or a lawn mowing service. You're buying a washer and dryer because you want an upgraded one. What about furniture? Mm-hmm. You come from a 850 square foot apartment. You bought a 2,000 square foot house or a 1,600 square foot house. You've doubled the size. Now you want furniture. And there's all these companies that are out there. They're like, we'll give you 18 months, same as cash.
Yeah, right? 0% for the first year.
0% financing, right? Buy your furniture. And you're like, cool, I have a house. I want to have people over, but I want to have something for them to sit on.
Yep.
And then, of course, your car breaks and whatever, and you add things.
Property insurance, taxes are going up. It's just like this, and then real wages are starting to fall.
Yeah, and then the scary part is that if only one person, there are a lot of reasons why people can go through financial hardship, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just job related. Could be health related, could be your bad spending, like I just mentioned, and you get into a position, you're like, oh crap, I really spent too much. So now couple all that together, and I say one of the reasons why we haven't seen the massive collapse
Yeah.
because everything's still propped up.
Yeah. I remember years ago, this is like maybe 7 years ago. I'm at Whole Foods in West LA or West Hollywood on Santa Monica and I think it was Fairfax. There's like a Whole Foods there. And I'm walking out with my now wife out the store and I see this couple and the woman or his girlfriend was saying, you know, we can afford this, we should buy it. And he's like, we can't afford it. And she's like, we can if we make the minimum payments. And I'm just thinking, that is almost everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That was like what people have been trained to think.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
I mean, why pay for it when you can pay 4 times for it?
yeah. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, why buy it to where you could just pay less?